Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Tyler here, bringing you the second episode of the Frankie Foster Wide Receiver Road to Glory series here on College Football 25. Hope you enjoyed the first episode. We just went through the creation, the commitment, and all that, and started getting things going in freshman year. Just, setting up the story, getting the journey going with Frankie Foster here. Remember, a 3-star prospect, wasn't getting much looks at all in high school until, Big Brother Tony, my Madden 24 wide receiver superstar mode series, he started popping off. So that helped put Frankie on the map, able to get a few stars. Went to Texas as a walk-on, just trying to prove people wrong. Wants to, eventually play with Arch Manning sometime down the road. So we'll continue on today, finishing up the first year, and then we'll get into year 2 as well. Hoping to, maybe try to, finally trigger some position battles and maybe climb that depth chart. But hope you guys enjoy the continuation of this journey here. Not going to be a whole lot going on, I'll tell you that right now. In this episode, again, just, seeing how things go. Finishing up the first year and then going into year 2. Again, continuing to just train as much as we can to try to upgrade our player as much as possible. And, practicing as much as we can to gain some coach trust. We'll probably, get a position battle in at the end of the episode. And then, next episode will probably be when we finally actually start playing, actual real games. But until then, we'll just have to sit tight, enjoy the ride, enjoy the grind. It's just the way this story's going to go, folks. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Slap that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's get it.
Team in the land, the Oklahoma Sooners. 48 Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going.
It's a tight game, folks. Of course it is tied up. We go up late. It's tied again. They go to overtime. Oh, man. Come on, fellas. Let's go. The boys get the job done in OT. 39-37, the final score. You love to see it. Staying up at the top of the SEC. Definitely learned a lot on the sidelines in this one, watching Bolden as he absolutely went off, man, getting those player of the game honors. Let's go. The midterm results are back and we got straight A's, so go check out that GPA. Should have went up a good amount for sure. As you see, it was enough to get fan favorite activated, so that's at least a 3.4. And it's upgraded to silver, which means we hit that 3.6. So you love to see that. Remember, you gotta finish with a 3.7 or higher for those first 3 seasons if you want to graduate early and then not have to worry about academics for that senior season. Wow, they actually lost at Kentucky in week 3. And then after the bye, they went to Bama and lost as well. So they lost 2 in a row. So they bounced back on a 2-game win streak now. We'll see if the boys can stay hot and get another big victory. Uh-oh, man. Georgia came to town and given us an absolute spanking, man. Oh, that was rough to watch, man. We go down 23-9. Unable to finish drives today, settling for just 3 field goals, and you're not going to win games with just kicking field goals, man. Classmate Parker hits us up. Hey, dude, we're in the same geology night class. My friend is a TA and gave me a sheet with the answers of the test this week. You want it? Nah, I'll just study myself. It's going to cost 2 energy points, but I just don't want to cheat, man. We're going to be an honest guy out here. Frankie's doing things the right way. And the GPA gets a small bump up. Oh no, the boys are struggling here against Kentucky. We're at home. Come on, fellas. There's no way we get upset late in the year. Oh, we tie it up late. Come on. We go to overtime. Come on, boys. No way. We get upset late in the year by Kentucky. So earlier in the year, the Wildcats beat Georgia, and now they come into our house and beat us. That's our third loss of the year, folks. It could possibly knock us out of playoff contention. Most likely not going to be able to battle for that SEC title now, that's for sure. I mean, we're the number 6 team in those playoff rankings, so we'll see how bad that drops us down. We're at 3 losses now. We dropped down to number 15, man. And we end the year with a tough matchup on the road. Still in the same state, of course, but that's a tough place to play. College Station, taking on Texas A&M. They're number 6 in the country right now at 9-2. 6-1 in the SEC. So this is a huge game. Hopefully we can get the dub and maybe get an at-large spot for the playoff. There we go, fellas. So after we get upset at home, we know. There we go, fellas. So after we get upset at home, we now go on the road and get a statement victory. And hey, man, I think this should be enough to get us in that playoff, man. I think we might get in there as an at-large team. Even with 3 losses, I think it should get the job done. We played a very tough schedule, that's for sure. There we go, finals results are in, got all B's. So that'll do it for freshman year. Definitely got a good GPA. We move up to number 9 in the country, but there's still some games to be played, conference championships and all that. And check that out. Michigan, we lost to them earlier in the year. And they just went on a crazy run this season. I think they ended up losing 1 game, but they win against Ohio State at the end of the season in a crazy overtime game. So they're still number 2 in the country. So Bama's atop the conference. Now I'm not sure if they're listing it correctly where Ole Miss holds the tiebreakers over the rest of these teams here, because there's a few teams here at 9-3, 6-2 in the conference, including Texas here. So I'm not sure if we are going to be in this SEC title game or not. I don't think so. I'm assuming it'll be Ole Miss against Bama. But it was definitely a wild race. The SEC, an insane conference. Georgia, I mean, hell, they're number 6 in the country at 9-3 with 3 SEC losses. That's nuts. And Kentucky, they finished 7-5, 4-4 in conference with 2 of those wins coming against Georgia and Texas. That's nuts. We ended up finishing with that 3.8 GPA you see right there. So it is indeed Ole Miss against Bama. And then there's the rest of the conferences if you want to see that. Number 2 Michigan versus number 3 Oregon should be pretty dang good. Surprised to see North Carolina finish ranked at 8-4. Also Florida State 8-4 for the ACC title game there. Some other solid matchups as well. Big 12, you got number 13 Utah against number 7 Oklahoma State. There's your Heisman Trophy winner, Dylan Gabriel, quarterback at Oregon. 3,652 yards, 46 passing touchdowns to 4 interceptions. That is insane. And it looks like we've got a rematch in round 1 of the college football playoff. That is right. We'll try to get our revenge against Georgia as they took us down in the regular season. It'll be number 8 against number 5 in Athens in the first round. So even though we are number 5 and number 8, it is the 7 versus 10 matchup as we take a look at the full bracket here. Because of course, depending on ranking, you still get, the automatic qualifiers. As you see, Bama, Oregon, Utah, and Boise State getting the byes. So I was a bit thrown off because I thought the ACC team would automatically be, included with the byes, but North Carolina actually ranked 20th still, is actually behind Boise State at 16. So the group of 5 champ, Boise State, is actually getting the bye here. That's wild. I wonder if we'll see that scenario in real life. I'd say probably not, but I don't think it's likely that the ACC champ ends up being 9-4, and definitely not North Carolina. But either way, wild to see how this has played out. As you see, Miami, the 6th seed against number 11 Oklahoma State. The 8-9 matchup is Ohio State, Texas Tech, and then Michigan, the 5-12 matchup against North Carolina. So it should be pretty interesting. It was close for, oh man, a wild finish. Texas takes the lead late. And a huge upset victory as we outscore them 14-0 in the fourth quarter. Quinn Ewers comes up big with 3 touchdown passes. Wow, folks, I can't believe we got the job done. It was a wild game. The score was looking rough early, but we were able to get it close again. And then Georgia was holding on late, but Texas, 14 unanswered in that fourth quarter, come away with a huge victory to advance to the next round. So our next matchup is going to be the Rose Bowl in the college football playoff quarterfinals here, taking on the Oregon Ducks, man. That's going to be a tough one. That's the Big Ten champs right there. Oh man, the rain is coming down for the Rose Bowl here. Nighttime action. The weather a factor. Doesn't it only rain like once or twice a year out there in Cali, man? That's crazy. How dare it rain on the Rose Bowl? Well, it's not looking good, folks. Down by 13 here. And it looks like they're going to be able to get the job done, man. Their defense shut us down. Only 14 points on the board. And we'll take the loss here in the Rose Bowl to Oregon. Unfortunately, going down in the second round of the college football playoff here. And that'll do a wrap on the first season for Frankie Foster here at Texas. Of course, we didn't have no action, but it was still a nice season to follow along with. It was exciting. Really wish we could have got farther, but hey, it just gives us even more motivation to keep training, keep working hard, hit the off season with a full head of steam, and try to be the best we can heading into year 2, so that way we can maybe get in there and actually contribute and start getting in there, trying to help this team win. And check out this bracket, man. A wild turnout to these playoffs. I am very surprised. Lots of upsets as you see a lot of the lower seeds getting to the end there. As the 6th seed Miami goes on to win the national championship over the 8th seed Ohio State. 39-28 the final score there. So yeah, man. Of course we lose to Oregon. Miami takes out Utah. And then Miami moved on to then take out Oregon. Ohio State beat Texas Tech and then went on to beat number 1 Alabama. Michigan, after beating North Carolina, moved on to beat Boise State. And then Ohio State got their revenge in the playoffs. So Michigan got the OT win in the regular season. But Ohio State with the win over Michigan in the playoff there by 3. Guessing it was a wild game. So Miami getting the job done. So what year was that? 2001? So a rematch of the 01 Natty? That's wild. And we'll just go ahead and advance on into year 2. So we'll be looking to try to grind to make those playoffs again. And of course Frankie will be vying to try to, trigger some position battles. And hopefully, start getting some more playing time in this next season. I'm actually surprised by this. I thought Ewers would stay one more year. But no, he's gone. Manning gonna take over now. So, he's a redshirt sophomore. So hopefully he at least stays for a couple seasons here. Before he, bolts to the NFL. So that way, we can get at least one full year in as a starter with him. My junior year is what I was aiming for. So hopefully he stays for next season. Because I'm still not expecting to play much this year. As you see, we're still 6th on the depth chart, man. We did graduate one of our top receivers last year. Bond is gone as well. But it looks like they might have brought in a transfer, so I thought I'd be bumped up to 5th. But either way, man, we should be able to grind enough this season to hopefully trigger a position battle and start to make our climb up the depth chart and maybe get some playing time here in year 2. Also remember, we get that extra year of eligibility in there, as we are still listed as a freshman, as we were redshirted now from that first year. Like I said, we just had action in the one game. There's a look at the top 25. The reigning national champs, Miami, still starting out number 1. And then they beat Ohio State, who starts at number 2 still. And then Michigan at 3 and Oregon at 4. So 3 straight Big Ten teams there. And then finally the SEC represented with Bama. And then Texas, we are at 6. And then Georgia, A&M, Wisconsin, and Louisville round out that top 10. So solid looking top 25 here heading into year 2. We started number 6 in the nation. So even without Ewers, Arch Manning stepping in, still looking to make that playoff, possibly, win the SEC title this year, hopefully. A wild-looking preseason Heisman watch, as just one quarterback, as you got Caden Salter of Liberty, and then 3 running backs in the Heisman watch to start the year, and 1 receiver, Stuart Avant from UCLA. So definitely interesting to see this. I'm imagining this will get shaken up quite a bit throughout the year. Definitely expect to see a few QBs in the mix. If Arch does well, I'd expect his name to get up on this top 5 as well. And a quick look at our schedule. They actually have us at Ohio State for a non-con game. That's going to be tough. Should get a few wins to start easy here this year. But after that, tough road stretch at Ohio State, at Georgia, and at Mississippi State. And then we round things up with a lot easier matchups at the end. But of course, A&M at the end will be a banger, but should be able to get plenty of wins before that. So yeah, I'm thinking, we should go probably about 10-2, I'm thinking. Of course, we have the bye in week 0. I'll go ahead and set the weekly agenda. Again, probably not going to show much of this stuff until we start playing more, but the main focus still is going to be training, getting as much XP, so that way we can get more skill points and upgrade our player, man. Because until we get up into the 70 overalls, it's going to be tough to catch up with them other guys. But hey, you see the coach trust here. I'm sure, sometime this season we're going to be able to trigger at least 1, maybe 2 position battles. I'm sure of it. And since I'm not expecting to play much, I will not really be using too much energy to get the health back up. Because like I said, I'm not expecting to play. But if anything, these first few games might be when I get playing time. If they do, get blowouts. So maybe I should at least put a little bit, make sure we're all right in case we do go out there at all. But either way, we get our skill points up to 7 there. And in case you forgot, I am saving that up to work on our speed next. We already worked on our hands a little bit in our route running, so our speed will be the next thing that we upgrade. And I believe it's like 11 skill points, so gonna have to keep on training here early this season and hopefully get up to those 11 skill points, get that speed up. Got one of our teammates hitting us up. Hey man, you free this week? My girl just broke up with me and I need to spend some time with the boys. I'm pretty tore up about it. Oh, come on, man. Ain't got time for these girls, man. Oh, that's dirty. I can ask for her number? Oh, come on, man. So you can agree for 1 energy or spend the whole week with the teammate for 3 energy. And you know what? I might as well just be a good teammate, man. We get a leadership increase there. Your teammates respect you considerably more. And we get a leadership increase here. Your teammates respect you considerably more. I kind of figured this would have a, tie into leadership, so I'm glad that it did. I want my leadership to go up. So it went up quite a bit, folks, all the way into the high tier now. So almost able to get that clear-headed mental ability active, but, we're not really playing much right now, so I'm not that worried about it. And, midterms coming up in 6 weeks, so with just a couple energy points remaining, we'll just go ahead and put 1 into academics, and then the last one we'll put into our brand. Got a big test coming up in our government lecture this week. And I'm going to go ahead and study a lot here. Try to get a big boost to the GPA so that way I ain't got to worry too much about it the rest of the season. Remember, I'm still trying to finish above that 3.7 to try to, graduate early. We got it done in year 1, so here in year 2, might as well continue to get that GPA up. And there we go, we get another A on that literature class presentation. So our GPA should continue to climb. What the hell? Apparently I completely failed my midterms, which makes no sense. I had my GPA all the way up to a 4.0. And then I had myself in the prepared tier. I wasn't like super prepared or whatever it is, but I was at least somewhat prepared for it. It was just the midterm. I wasn't as worried about it like the finals you should be. So I don't know how this happened. I could understand C's on the midterm. That's what I was aiming for, but all D's and an F? Like, come on. That's crazy. Like, there's no way they're hitting us with this cheese. So I didn't have it in the prepared tier. I had it in the basic tier. And usually when you're in basic for midterms, it gives you C's. But for me, it was like, nah, man. You're getting D's and an F. So our 4.0 goes back down to a 3.6. So again, I think it was cheese. Shouldn't have happened. I think we should have got all C's and maybe it still drops, but just to a 3.8. I think that would have made sense. But either way, we'll make sure that we're good to go when it comes time once we get to finals, so that way we get it back above that 3.7. So we are up to 11 skill points now, finally able to purchase this upgrade to our quickness to help get our speed up, and our overall goes up to a 70. The speed goes up to an 86. So we're going to have to, grind for another 12 skill points to get this boosted up again. What a wild road it has been after being upset in the first couple of weeks, but hey, the Iowa State loss not looking so bad now as they're 9-1 and ranked 4th in the country. But a rough upset to San Jose State after that as well, and then losing at Ohio State had us start 1-3. But then an insane run as we knocked off Georgia, who was number 1 at the time and undefeated, and then Mississippi State was undefeated. We knocked them off. Oklahoma was undefeated, knocked them off. Florida was number 3 in the country at the time and undefeated, knocked them off. So a wild run there, knocking off 4 straight undefeated teams, and then continuing on this run. We're undefeated in the SEC after a terrible 1-3 start in the non-conference, and after a couple bye weeks, we end with Vanderbilt and then Texas A&M, the number 1 team in the country at 9-1. So that'll be a wild one, and hey man, that might end up being a rematch in the conference championship game. So wild end of the season coming up here. Currently we're ranked number 13. We started number 6 in the country, and then after the 1-3 start, we were nowhere near the top 25, of course. And then after ripping off a few of those wins in a row, we were finally able to get back in there. GPA sitting at a solid 4.0, just a couple weeks away from that final exam. Make sure that we're about to be prepared for it, of course. Don't want that GPA to slip up too much. Been doing tons of training this year, of course. You've seen we did a couple upgrades. Got our speed up a little bit finally. And, we just continue to, train as much as we can. Try to get the XP up. So that way we can continue to get our attributes up. Been working on that leadership a lot as well, as it helps with, the coach trust and XP bonuses. A huge matchup going into the last week of the regular season here. We're the number 12 team in the country at 8-3, and we'll be hosting the number 1 team in the country, Texas A&M, at 10-1. And this could possibly just be a rematch as well in the SEC title game. And we got the lead at half, 10-6. It's a defensive battle here. A&M takes the lead in the second half. Uh-oh, they're up a couple scores now. We get within a score, and then we take the lead. Let's go. We get the job done late in the fourth quarter and come away with a huge victory, 25-22. So after a 1-3 start, we go on a crazy run, undefeated in the SEC, folks. And we, are going to be in the conference title game, of course. And even if we lose that, you got to have us in the playoff after the crazy run we went on. Even with the rough upset to San Jose State early in the year, but man, what a crazy run, going undefeated in the SEC. Oh man, I'm sick that it took all season, man, but at least we finally got this done. A position battle, folks, at the end of our second year here. Redshirt freshman Frankie Foster gonna get a battle to take over that wide receiver 5 spot, so still not a starter spot, but at least looking to climb the depth chart, hopefully. And our academic advisor lets us know we got all A's on our final exams. A great job. We finished with a 4.0, man. So we're actually going to be taking on Georgia in the SEC title game. Had we lost to A&M, we actually would have had a rematch in that SEC title game with them. We still would have made it if we had lost. But since we won, A&M, with 2 losses in conference now, tied with a few other teams, Georgia wins that tiebreaker. So it'll be interesting to see what we do here. Remember, last season, we lost to Georgia in the regular season, but then we beat them in the first round of the playoffs. And then this year, we beat them as well. So looking to beat them again. They want some revenge, though, so I'm sure it'll be tough. We're going to go ahead and dive into this position battle, folks. Try to take over that wide receiver 5 spot. See, as you see here, we got to win 2 of the 3 mini games that we play. And it shows you on the top right the score that you have to beat. So here we go. Got to beat 2,000 points. The out route. Oh man. Nice catch. Went all the way across the field. There we go. Another 200 points. Oh, just barely in that 400 zone. That was nice. So I think we're good now. We just had to beat 2,000 points, and we're well over that with 4 reps remaining. Oh, shouldn't have tried that, but might as well. Out route. Hit that 400 zone. Let's go. A little zig and zag, and we catch that in the 200 zone. Down to our final rep. Gonna hit the out route, try to catch it in that 400 zone. Let's go, man. Just shy of the gold, unfortunately, but either way, we win that first drill. So now the jump cut drill, we'll have to beat 1,500 points this time. Going back and forth. Oh, no way. I got out of bounds at the end there. Was doing really well, and then unfortunately, I trolled at the end, folks. There we go. We get there. Should be able to beat his score at least. Ah, dang. We get hit by the projectile there, but hey. We've still done enough to beat his score, thankfully. So we should be good to go here, because you just got to win 2 of the 3 drills. And I'm sure it'll be a little bit harder, as we get higher on the depth chart. Like if we were trying to get, the 3rd or 2nd spot, it would probably, take some more points if I had to guess. But either way, we get the job done, winning the 2nd drill, so that'll be enough to win the position battle. We'll finish off with the wide receiver skeleton drill. Might as well just, try our best in it. Do as well as we can. Try to get gold. So I guess I got a call for it. I have not tried this one yet, folks. This is one of the ones I have not tried. So thankfully we already won the drill. But either way, we'll try our best here. See what we can do. I don't even think you actually have to run the route that they say. Pretty sure you just got to successfully, get some completed catches. Oh, that was a nice broken tackle. But yeah, just got to beat 2,000 points here, and we got plenty of time left on the clock, so should be able to get it done. As I say that, an interception. But yeah, like I said, the points aren't too high here, so it shouldn't be too hard to beat this. See, there we go over the middle, making that catch in the end zone. Puts us over that 2,000 points. So we win all 3 of these drills as a part of this position battle. And that'll give us a bump up on the depth chart from the 6th spot to the 5th spot. So like I said, still not going to be starting, but at least more of a chance to possibly see the field at some points maybe. And unfortunately, it is the end of the year already, so hopefully we can just continue to climb when we get into the next season and, hopefully become a starter. So there we go. We're up to wide receiver 5. Bunch of coach trust earned. Love to see it. Winning all 3 drills. Taking over that spot from DeAndre Moore Jr. Sorry, buddy. We'll go ahead and wrap up the episode right there, folks. Thank y'all. If you stayed around for the whole thing. Slap the like button for me. I appreciate it a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Next time, we'll be finishing up year 2. See what happens at the end, man. See, if we are able to win the SEC and, make a run in these playoffs. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed, like I said. And, next season we'll definitely be trying to vie for that playing time and try to, of course, become a starter. And if not, at least, try to at least get in the rotation, man. Because we want to get some playing time in there with Arch before he takes off for the NFL. So we'll see how this story continues to unfold next time. And as always, hope you have a nice day. Peace.